Hello, hello, it's Miss Benina, and today I will read A Walk in Zozobra's Shoes. In the distance, we could hear a crowd of thousands chanting, "Burn him! Burn him! Burn him!" "I must get back, Isaiah," Zozobra cried. "Estás loco? They want to burn you," Isaiah replied. The crowd roared wildly, "Burn him! Burn him!" "Tengo que volver," Zozobra insisted. "I have to go back, because this is the time they burn me, and fiestas begin." "Why did he want to go back?" exclaimed Sebastian as he sat cuddled on a blanket in the grass at Fort Marcy Park just before sunset. "I don't know. I begged him. No, Zozobra, por favor, no." "But Isaiah, I thought that you said that you saved him," questioned Sebastian. "I tried to explain that to Zozobra," said Isaiah. "I told him, not this year. This year you are safe. I won't let them burn you. This year you get to join in on the fun. Fiestas are a blast. It's the time we focus on the positive things that came at the end of a long conflict. We get to go downtown to the plaza and see all our family and friends. Everyone's troubles seem to disappear. Our biggest problem is trying to decide whether to eat posas tamales drenched in red chili or to eat a Navajo taco dripping with green chili." "Did you tell Zozobra about how you and your Nina Gabby share fluffy pink cotton candy and caramel apples sprinkled with piñon? Oh, and how you always find the biggest red balloon and Mama ties it on your wrist and how you watch it blow in the wind as if it were dancing to the rancheros music that fills the air?" "Yes, I told him all that, and I told him that there is only one thing that ruins the fun," said Isaiah. "I told him I just can't help thinking about you, Zozobra." "Pobrecita Zozobra," said Sebastian. "He has never been able to come to the plaza and enjoy the fiestas. Yo sé, that's what I told him. I did it all in order to save him and bring him to the plaza to enjoy the fiestas. I didn't want them to burn him. I wanted him to enjoy the fun." "Tell me, Isaiah. Tell me about the day you and Zozobra enjoyed together. Start with the part about Mama and her dad, Grandpa Jose." "Bueno, I will tell you everything. When Mama was a little girl, she was walking down Lincoln Avenue holding Grandpa Jose's hand, and she asked him why we celebrate fiestas. He whispered in her ear, 'The fiestas are for your birthday, mijita.' Mama believed Grandpa Jose, and every year when it was fiestas time, Mama thought it was time for everyone in Santa Fe to celebrate her birthday. The fiesta queen, the court, would come to Mama's school, St. Francis Cathedral School, and call the children who were celebrating their birthday in September to come to the front so the mariachis could sing Las Mañanitas to them. This confirmed for Mama that it was true. Fiestas were indeed a big party celebrating her birthday. Mama stood up in front of the whole school, and as far as she was concerned, there was no one else up there except her. In her mind, the beautiful mariachis sang only to her. I can see her frizzy brown hair framing her smiling face as the mariachis sang, said Sebastian. Sí, yo también, su pelo loco, said Isaiah. No wonder Uncle Jose called her Spider. Isaiah continued, "Fiestas are a very special time for Mama, filled with special memories. One of her favorite memories was playing dress-up in Nana Celine's fiesta dresses. Mama, my Nina Gabby, and her cousin Loretta played for hours in the dresses. Everyone's favorite dress was a yellow fiesta dress with the silver rickrack and the white lace. Mama said that they wore the dresses everywhere, rain or shine, and so they wore out the dresses. She said that this made Nana, well, less than happy with her. Fortunately, there was Zozobra, que no, Isaiah?" said Sebastian. "See, when Zozobra burned at fiestas, all our troubles are burned with him. Troubles like getting your mom mad or fights with your little sister over a fiesta dress. It's no wonder one of Mama's favorite things is Zozobra. Zozobra is like New Year's Eve in September," said Sebastian. "Recuerdas when Mama discovered that the downtown Kiwanis Club hid Zozobra in a secret location?" "Claro que sí," replied Sebastian. Isaiah continued. It was then that I made a plan to sneak in and save him. First, I arrived at the secret location where Zozo is hidden, and with the ultimate movida, I charmed my way through the tight security. When I first saw him, I was a little afraid because he was so big and because the situation was worse than I thought. Zozobra was all in pieces. I was going to tell him, "Don't be afraid, Zozobra. I'm here to save you." Pero híjole, I had no idea which end to talk to. After I made sana on him, I looked again and noticed they were putting Zozobra together. It was then that Zozo and I made a secret plan. We would meet at Fort Marcy Park, and I would help him make a break for it. Just as planned, we met at Fort Marcy, but I was shocked to find Zozobra taking a nap. I said, "Zozobra, estás loco, you silly marionette? This is no time for a nap. Wake up! There's a burrito with your name on it waiting on the plaza." Zozobra, you are a little bit like my mommy in that you require a crane to get you out of bed. Then, finally, Zozobra was on his feet. "Vamos, come on," Zozo said. "Allah, Zozobra, you're tough to keep up with," I said. "For a big guy, you can move pretty quickly." I yelled, "Espérame, Zozo. Hey, wait for me." He finally realized that he was going way too fast, and then he picked me up and sat me on his shoulder, and in a few giant Zozobra steps, we were downtown. Then I showed Zozo around Santa Fe. First, we went to the oldest house in Santa Fe. Grandpa Jose was finishing carpenter and did some work in that house, and when he was very young, and so he used to say, "I worked on the oldest house in Santa Fe and the newest." "Yeah," Sebastian interrupted. "Grandpa Jose laid the rocks around the oldest house when he was a young boy, and when he was alive, he was always busy working on the newest houses going up in Santa Fe." Then Zozo and I went to see the St. Francis Basilica. Mama went to Mass there every Friday with her friends from school. She used to like to sing Ave Maria at the top of her lungs with her best friend Lisa, but her favorite memory was being selected to play the role of the Virgin Mary at midnight Mass on Christmas Eve. She remembers that David, the boy who was selected to be Joseph, kept falling asleep because it was way past his bedtime. But not Mama. She was very proud of her role and would have stayed awake forever. She tried very hard to sit nicely and act like the Virgin Mary, but sometimes she would forget to be Mary-like because it would upset her to look over and see David not taking his role seriously as he was asleep. Mama would poke him in order to wake him up and say, "Despierta, dormilón, despierta," which I'm sure the Virgin would not have done. Next, I showed Zozobra where Swenson's ice cream shop used to be and told him about the legendary giant root beer swirl ice cream cones that Nana Celine would take Mama, Nina Gabby, Uncle Dave, and Uncle Teddy for after school. The ice cream cones were so big that my Nina Gabby, who was the youngest, could never eat them faster than they would melt. But Mama and Uncle Dave were nice enough to fix her cone for her by licking up any dripping ice cream and any ice cream that looked as if it might drip. Now, when we go get an ice cream from Cookie at Baskin-Robbins, Mama does the same for me. "A la máquina! That's nice of Mama," said Sebastian. "Tell me about the Fiesta Parade and the candy," begged Sebastian. Isaiah continued, "I told Zozobra, if you stay with me, you and I can walk the Fiesta Parade route. This is not the route that the parade takes. It's the route that Mama and Uncle Dave took when they were kids." Sebastian interjected, "It's a top secret route that Uncle Dave mapped out and memorized well before the day of the parade each year. Mama would follow him as they ran from street to street on a strategically planned course that would allow them to see the parade pass several times and maximize the amount of candy retrieved from the event. Sí, es verdad," continued Isaiah. "This route is the most sought-after route in all of Santa Fe. With the movida of all movidas, I obtained the formula for creating the route. This formula factors in each float's candy supply, the varying speed of the parade, pedestrian traffic, the eye-hand coordination skills of all the children along the route. This formula, coupled with Zozobra's size and speed and my agility, means that the amount of candy we could collect could be endless. Híjole, Zozobra, you have to stay. Imagine the candy. Yes, the yummy candy. And saving Zozobra from a fiery death. Focus, Isaiah, focus, reminded Sebastian. Well, by now the natives were getting restless, wondering where Zozobra was, continued Isaiah. I snuck him out to Marty Sanchez's golf course and we played the back nine. Zozobra was pretty good out there. He even got a hole in one. Well, that's what the guys out in Cochiti tell me. I wouldn't know, as I never exactly saw where his drives landed. After we played golf, I took him over to ride on the Roadrunner with me. I love trains and thought that he would too, but as it turned out, he was way too big to fit in the train, and so I just asked him to help me climb up on the train and take in the beautiful sunset. And that's when everything changed. A sunset? Que va! Es tarde, Zozobra said. This is the time that they burn me and fiestas begins. What are you talking about? I asked. Zozobra, I saved you. You're free, and we haven't even been to the Children's Museum. That's when he did the most unsuspected thing. He brought me close to him and said, Isaiah, thank you for the most wonderful day of my existence. No one has ever thought of me the way you have. I have often wondered what the people of Santa Fe do when they're not shouting, burn him! You have given me a glimpse of that today, and I truly enjoyed it. Isaiah, I know you're going to think this is loco, but I like being burnt every year at fiestas. I asked, if you like it, why do you plead to the crowd not to burn you? Oh, that. I just do it for dramatic effect. Then he continued, I like it because I remind people to forgive others and themselves for the mistakes of the past year, and I allow them to move away from the bad times and look to the good. Then he said, you know, Isaiah, people forget to do what you did today. They forget to share why things are important to them, allowing others to take someone else's perspective. And when people don't take the time to share or learn about things that are important to others, they form opinions about things they don't fully understand and can unknowingly cause hurt and insult. That's why I came about, Isaiah. But you see, now I have become something else, something greater than I was when I began. I have become a symbol to the people of Santa Fe, and I mean something different to everyone that sees me. I mean whispers between daddies and daughters that linger in the ears through the years, laughter and sweet memories in the hearts of children, and time to get to know someone deep within. I am part of fiestas and the ever-changing history of Santa Fe. Isaiah, you and your stories you shared with me today are part of that too. If I don't go back to Fort Marcy, Fiesta will not be the same. Your mama wants to share with you the happiness she felt at this time of year, and many other parents want to share this time with their children too. They're all waiting for me at the park now. Zobra was about to leave, but then he stopped and said, Isaiah, you will make mistakes. You will mess up sometimes, but remember that I will be here for you to help you remember to forgive yourself and help you move on. I hope you will bring your children to see me and tell them of the day we spent together and of the stories you shared today. I hope also that you will teach them to consider and respect other people's differing points of view and to forgive. Zozobra turned to walk away, and then he turned back to me and said, Forgive, Isaiah. Forgive others, and be sure to forgive yourself too. And remember that even a cool day in September is a good day to start a fresh new year. I have to go now, mijito. Come here and give me a good luck or kiss, smack dab on my frente, and remember, te quiero mucho, Isaiah Michael Jose. Te quiero mucho. Then he walked away, and without looking back, he said, Que viva la fiesta! Que viva, I answered. As I watched Zozobra leave, I laughed to myself. I set out to save Zozobra, but instead, I did so much more. I grew to understand and appreciate his perspective by taking a walk in Zozobra's shoes. Come on now, hermanito. Let's watch the Gloomies start the show, said Isaiah. Promise to tell that story again next year, hermano? Begged Sebastian. Sí, sí. I promise, said Isaiah. I will keep telling this story because we are the children of los tres gentes that learned from conflict and now live side by side in respect and admiration of our differing cultures. The end. Bueno, bye.